welcome back to another episode of Red Jello's Legit Reviews, or whatever the hell you want to call me. Today, we're not really doing a review. We're kind of reviewing what I think about these football teams because we're doing a playoff bracket, NFL 2021, technically 2022 predictions, but we're just going to get right into the point. I'm not going to give you a whole analysis on what I think about this player or this coaching strategy or XYZ. We're going to kind of get to the point and just say who I think is going to win. I'm going to give a little bit of reason why, but we're not going to go too deep into that because you know what? The playoffs are starting in 5 minutes. So I have to get this uploaded fast or people are going to think I lied and just cheated for my first prediction here. All right. So first off, we got the Raiders and the Bengals. These are two equal teams. They are both kind of in the same level of skill, and I think this is a very tight and clean matchup. This is a good matchup. This is going to be a fiery game. It could go either way. But I think when all is said and done, we know how the Bengals are in the postseason. They don't fucking belong there. The Raiders don't really belong there either. But again, we know how this goes. The Bengals have never won a playoff game since 1991. There has never been a text message sent about the Bengals winning a playoff game. We just know how they are. Okay? They choke in short order in the playoffs. I will never forget when it was against the Steelers. It was quite some time ago, but I think it was Pac-Man Jones, if I can remember correctly when I was watching, and his penalties actually screwed him out of. I'm sorry, they put the Steelers into field goal range to win the game. If the Bengals do have a lead or are in position to win this game, they're going to find a way to lose it. So give me the Raiders winning this game all day, no doubt. Next up, which is a game I'm going to be very passionate about, we got going on tonight, is the Bills and the Patriots. Patriots at Bills. This is going to be a very tight, close game, and I am very passionate about this. This game is going to be close, no doubt about it. I'm not putting down the Bills, and you know I'm a little biased on this. The Bills have overcome what I have expected of them. They have been a terrible team for a very long time, and now they are playoff contenders. They have made the playoffs for like the first time in so long, finally last year, or it might have been 2 years ago. Sometimes I mess up my memory. But they have finally found a way to weasel their way into the playoffs and actually win the division, which is shocking to me. But they did it, and they earned it. However, we both know we are 1-1 against them in the regular season this year, so this game could go either way, but we both know how the postseason Patriots are, baby, and that's right, we're coming in red hot, baby. We're going to fucking Buffalo, we're going to fuck it up, baby. You better believe it. Bill Belichick is coming in hot. You better watch out, because he came in with a game plan. So, the Patriots fucking winning this game, no doubt about it. We're going to smack them around, baby. We beat them, but passing the ball 3 times once in their own stadium and took a shit right on their field, baby. You better believe New England's coming away with a win in this one. Okay, next up we have the Eagles and the Buccaneers. Now, I don't think I really have to talk about this game too much. The Eagles are fucking garbage. I don't know how they're in the playoffs. I mean, I do know how they are, but they don't deserve to be, and they shouldn't be. The fact they got there is just because the division is garbage, and we all know that. But whatever, they're there. They're going against the Buccaneers. Now, as much as I'd like to see Tom Brady fail on another team because I'm a huge Patriots fan, and unfortunately, there's a lot of bandwagoner teams who are rooting for Tom Brady for some weird reason, but you all are fake as shit. I want the Buccaneers to lose this game, but we both know they're not going to. The Eagles are trash. They're terrible. If they somehow win this game, I don't even know what to say. But no, absolutely not. I don't think I need to talk about this one too much. Buccaneers are winning this game all day. Next up, we have the 49ers and the Cowboys. Now, this game could go either way. This is going to be a very close game. This is an old rivalry going back to the Joe Montana days. These teams hate each other, and they still hate each other for no reason. I have people that I know who are Cowboys fans or 49ers fans, and they still hate each other's teams, even though they both started to suck for quite some time. And the fact that you consider the Cowboys America's team during all these years is insane to me because they just ain't. They're trash. They're not even. For a while, they weren't even Texas's team. There was a point where actually the Texans were better than the Cowboys, and I thought it was hilarious. But anyway, enough about that. This is going to be a pretty close game, needless to say. However, I think the 49ers are going to come in with a very, very passionate will to win this game. They want to get back into the playoff picture. They have been a team that's been relatively lackluster for a long time until the last few years. but they still haven't really had that chance to really prove themselves. Now, they need to get it done this time. They're coming in this game with passion, and they're coming in with some heat. But the same thing goes for the Cowboys. The Cowboys have fallen off for a very long time, and this is the first year in quite some time where they even have a remote chance of making it to the Super Bowl. They have proven themselves to be a very good team this year, but honestly, they did beat us in overtime, and I was very salty about that. But I think they're smoke and mirrors. I really do not think they're that good of a team. They've had a relatively easy games to be able to get by, and I just don't really think they're that good. I don't think it's as good as their record says they are. I honestly don't think that they can beat the 49ers. I think the 49ers are going to come in with some heat, and they're going to show Dallas who's boss. So give me the 49ers winning this game. Next up, we have the Steelers Chiefs. The Steelers who barely made it into the playoffs and wouldn't have if the Raiders and Chargers had agreed to a tie, are here to show that their season is not over, and Big Ben does not want to retire a bum. Well, he wouldn't retire a bum, but he isn't retired looking like a bum in his last game. So he wants to win this game very badly. He wants one more chance to prove himself and is hungry. He's very hungry because if he can win one more Super Bowl before he retires, he'd be very happy. But is he going to be able to do that? Well, I don't know. The Chiefs are a very, very good team. But honestly, I've seen them start to choke a little bit towards the end of the season and kind of pick back up. But they have showed that they are not as great as everyone has made them out to be. People are not falling for their bullshit anymore. People are starting to build their defenses to stop Patrick Mahomes and his mobility. I think they're going to get picked apart a little bit. The Steelers are going to really want to win this game, and so they're going to come in with a game plan. Have have the Chiefs as good as you think they are. They are definitely worthy of a choke team, and they have proven that they can choke. So this is going to be a bold prediction of mine, but give me the Steelers winning this game in the upset. I think the Steelers are going to take it. Last game of a super wild card week, and we have the Cardinals and the Rams. And this is going to be a pretty competitive game. The Rams have been playing very good this season, as well as the Cardinals. Cardinals have started off like the best team in the NFL. They were a real threat, and then they just gave up for whatever reason, and now they're the fifth seed and the Packers have taken the first seed. Very shockingly disappointing for Arizona fans. I can imagine that they're as low as they are on the seeding chart, but they're in the playoffs, and I think going into this postseason, they're going to come in with a game plan and they're going to play their hearts out. Now, the Rams are that type of team I just don't think can really make it that far this year. I don't know why, but you can smell the bullshit. It's Matt Stafford. Matt Stafford is not a good quarterback by any means. He's average at best, and I don't think he's good. I don't think he's going to be able to carry this team through the playoff season. I think he's going to choke. Give me the Cardinals winning this game. I think the Cardinals are going to come back to their roots and figure out a game plan to be successful in the postseason. We're not going to know when these games are going to be scheduled for because we can't know the matchups yet. We're just going to go left to right on what is shown on my bracket. So first up, we have the 49ers against the Packers. I think the 49ers, if they do make it to this stage of the playoffs, like I think they will, they're going to come in with some heat. The 49ers tend to play with some competitive energy when they go against the Packers, it seems, in their recent matchups that have happened. Now, the Packers, on the other hand, they have been dominating. They have paved their way to this playoffs. They have fought for that first seed, although a lot of it did depend on other teams like the Cardinals choking and giving up. They have earned that number one seed. Aaron Rodgers' end is coming too. He's an older quarterback who still wants to prove himself one last time before it's all said and done. So I think the Packers are going to play very hard this time. They have been grossly inconsistent in recent memory. In the last few years, they have always been a good team. They have just never been able to actually do anything with their season to make it to the Super Bowl. They've always given that up. But I think this year they have a team that can do it. They can make excuses for themselves all they want, and it would be fair to say they've had a weak team, they've had bad O-line, they've had injured players, a defense that can't carry Aaron Rodgers, and all of that is definitely true. But this year, they have better coaching and they have a better built team that is going to go into this postseason with some hot energy. I think the 49ers are going to play really well and it's going to be a close to the wire, nail biting game, but I think the Packers are going to take this once it's all said and done. Next, we got the Cardinals and the Buccaneers. These are two teams where I think if the Cardinals do win against the Rams like I think they will, they're going to play very tough against this Buccaneers team. Now, the Buccaneers, for bias reasons, I would love to see them lose and be out of the playoffs. I don't want to see Tom Brady be successful when he's not in the Patriots because I am petty and I hold grudges. But there are some fake ass bandwagon Patriots fans who are rooting for Tom Brady when they're not rooting for the Patriots, but not me. I root for the Bucs to lose. Except I was rooting for the Bucs in that Super Bowl because I hate the Chiefs. So anyway, yeah, my biases aside, I think the Cardinals are going to come in this game with some hot energy, and I think it's going to be a lot closer of a game than it would look out to be. However, the Buccaneers are a good team, and Tom Brady is Tom Brady. I'll never deny that he's the GOAT. He's absolutely the GOAT, and even though he's no longer playing for my team, I am not going to not deny that. He's going to come into this postseason fighting every step of the way to win any game he can. Now, with that being said, Buccaneers have shown, though, they have some weaknesses. They have shown that they're not this all-star team that everyone makes them out to be. They almost lost to the Jets, in which Antonio Brown left the middle of the game and took his clothes off and made a big throw a temper tantrum like he was 4 years old. But that was hilarious and all. But Antonio Brown was a good player that they really, honestly, I guess, did not need. But he's no longer on the team, so the team is a little weaker now. But honestly, jokes aside, they have proven some inconsistencies in some games that they have played towards the end of the season. They have shown that they're not this powerhouse team that is going to win no matter what. It's just because it's old Brady and Gronk doesn't mean that their team is going to be coached or outplay every team step of the way because they're missing one very important factor, and that is Mr. Belichick, homeboy. But I do think the Buccaneers are going to win this game when it's all said and done. They're a better team than the Cardinals, and they certainly can take them out of the playoffs. Next up, we've got the Patriots and Raiders. Now, this would be an interesting game because the Raiders have shown that they are playoff worthy. But let's be honest with ourselves. The Raiders barely made it into the playoffs, and they don't deserve to be there. But they did earn their spot, and they have proved that they are a competitive team. But honestly, the Patriots seeding is just so not reflective of what the team that they really have been this year. We started off a little rocky, having the rookie quarterback, and we blew some important games, but they have all been close nail biters, and we never gave up on these games. Miami got real lucky last week, but that game didn't turn out to matter much because the Bills won anyway. But let's be honest for ourselves, the Patriots being the sixth seed, they really deserve to be higher. And honestly, when it comes to the postseason, they're going to prove that. The Raiders are just as good as they look as they are. They belong right there at that number 5. And I know I'm biased when talking about the Patriots, but let's be real. I've seen them play this year, and they have proven that they're a tough team, and they're going to come in with a monster defense. Although they've had their struggles the last few weeks, coming into the postseason with Bill Belichick, especially if they beat the Bills, they're going to come in with an even stronger team against these Raiders who really aren't that good of a team. Patriots winning this game all night, baby. You better believe it. Next up, we have the Steelers Titans. The Steelers, in my prediction, having winning an upset against the Chiefs, are now going against the number 1 seed in the AFC. The Titans, however, I really don't think are as good as people think they are. I think they've had some lucky moments. I think they've had some easy games, but they also prove that they are a good team. I will say they are a good team, but they're not as amazing as I think it looks like they are worth when it comes down to the show. So I think this game is going to be actually quite a close one, relatively close. It's not going to be a blowout like you would assume from the number 7 seed going against the number 1. I think the Steelers are going to come in with some hot passion, especially with Ben Roethlisberger really hoping to have a good last game for himself, hoping to make it to the Super Bowl. But yes, at the end of the day, I think the Titans are definitely a better designed team, a better coach team, and they have a more together team. They have gone through an insane amount of injuries and have still overcome all of them. They have proven that they can remain dominant in the long run throughout this season. They're definitely the better team than the Steelers. I think it's going to be a close one. I don't think it's going to be a blowout, but give me the Titans winning this game. Buccaneers, Packers. These are two very decently good teams who can definitely beat each other. The game can go either way. I think they're a relatively strong, equal level of competitive nature. Tom Brady and the Buccaneers are going to want to win the shit out of this game, but Aaron Rodgers is also going to want to win the shit out of this game. These are two very good quarterbacks, and obviously Tom Brady's a better quarterback than Aaron Rodgers overall, but Aaron Rodgers is a very talented QB. He is a QB who goes into every game with passion and heat. And he has some excuses to be made for the last few years about how broken his team has been, but he's still pushed through to be a decent contender every step of the way. Now, a lot of you guys are probably saying, "Oh, I'm going to think the Buccaneers are going to win because you just want the Patriots Buccaneers Super Bowl." Ha ha. But no, actually, give me the Packers winning this game. I think the Packers are a better team than the Buccaneers. The Packers haven't shown inconsistencies this year. Yes, they did lose to the Lions, but that was a game that literally meant nothing while they were using backups. And at the same time, the Buccaneers have proven they can be inconsistent in long order. The Packers, they have been an inconsistent team for a long time, but this year they have shown that they have a team that is going to go into these playoffs and they're going to fight. And they showed that they have a team that can make it to the Super Bowl this year. So give me the Packers over the Buccaneers. Next up, we have the AFC Championship game. We have the Patriots against the Titans. And people are going to say, well, the Titans are going to win this one easily. It's the first seed against the sixth seed. A lot of people probably don't think the Patriots are going to make it to this level, but I would strongly disagree. Now, let's go back in memory. The Titans really aren't as good of a team as people think they are. Matter of fact, the Patriots have kicked the absolute shit out of the Titans this year. So it has already happened. I've already witnessed it with my own eyes. I've seen the Titans aren't that great of a team. We spanked them 36-13. They got spanked. They took a beating, okay? They are not that great of a team, and the Patriots are definitely a team that can beat the Titans. Now, a lot of people are going to go back and say, well, that was one game. You can't really use that as reference, but I absolutely can use that as reference because the Titans haven't really shown much more of a different play style since that game. That is one of the later games of the season, and they haven't really changed their show up since. I mean, that was one of the last games of the season. That's who they are as a team that's going to get spanked by the Patriots. The Patriots are a team that's going to come into the playoffs and they're going to play competitively with some heat. The Patriots are a nightmare. It's America's worst nightmare if they make it into the playoffs. The Patriots are going to play their hearts out on this game. I won't even say this is going to be a very close game. It's going to be a little close maybe for a little bit, but the Patriots are going to get away with this one, I think, relatively easily. And I know that sounds bold and biased, and I think the game is going to be close for a while. The Titans are going to put up points. I'm not saying we're going to shut them out. They are a good team, but we have proven we can beat them, and we'll beat them again. And I think that's going to be proven. The Titans are upset to the Patriots in this AFC Championship game. So you better believe it. Next, we have the Super Bowl. All right? Now this is how this game is going to go. It's Packers-Patriots Super Bowl. That is my prediction for this Super Bowl. So this is how I think it's going to go. This game is going to be very close, obviously. No doubt about it. It's going to be tight. It's going to be fiery. It's going to be aggressive. Okay, this is Super Bowl 56, baby, and it's going down right there. But you know what's going to happen? These are two teams. The Patriots make it to the Super Bowl. They are a nightmare. You don't want the Patriots going to the Super Bowl. No one in the NFL does because they know what's going to happen. But the Packers, they also want this bad because Aaron Rodgers is desperate for a Super Bowl win. He wants this. He wants to prove to this team to do it. This game is going to be offensively close. People are going to have heart attacks and break their TVs, and probably friendships and marriages will be over after this game is concluded because of how intense this game is going to be. People are going to die on the field. People are going to they're going to pass out in the stadium. It's going to be wild, bro. It's going to be out of control. Okay, maybe not that out of control, but it's going to be a hotly contested game when this show goes down. But you know what's going to happen? Mac Jones is going to figure it out, baby. Bill Belichick's going to figure it out. He wants that ring. He wants one more ring. He wants like 8 more rings, actually. He says, you know what, Tom Brady, you can suck my balls because I can do it without you. And this is what I've proven this year. But Aaron Rodgers is going in there like, you know what? I've been screwing up for a little bit, but I'm back. And I'm here to show you that I can dance. This game is going to be an absolute monstrously good game. But you know what's going to happen. The story is always the same. The Packers don't get it done, and the Patriots do. Give me the Patriots winning this Super Bowl all day, baby. That is my bracket for the 2022, technically 2021 season, whatever the hell you want to call it, playoffs. And I hope you have a good one.